this is Courtney with MHN Property Management. Today I'm going to show you how to do an application for one of the homes that we either manage or are listing for someone who self-manages. So I'm going to walk you through the steps. I will say that when you do the application process, it does take about 30 minutes, not too long, not too short, but you do need to have all your documentation ready. And we'll go over that. So this will be processes, but also a few tips and information about what I do when I screen. So here we go. I'm going to start on our website. It's mhnproperties.com. You can find the application link at the bottom of any page. It says apply here. So at the footer of any page that you're on, it will work. I'm going to start here at the homes for rent, all rentals. So here you have our application screening criteria. Again, really easy to find. I do make a point, it's really important to look at. We will go over that today as part of the application process. And also, we have other videos if you want to know about how to schedule a self-viewing. So we're going to go with apply online, right here. So it starts right here. This is information about brokerage services. It does mean that we represent the owner. We have a fiduciary responsibility, and a fancy word, to the owner. Basically, we have to put their interests like ours, and also work within the ethics, the code of ethics, and all of those things. Here is the number one error that is committed. So no matter who you are, it says all applicants, so that's all peoples, need to start with pet screening. And this is the number one error, and it doesn't matter if you get all the other documents in and you do this 30-minute process and you skip this step. Even if you do not have an animal, your application will not be considered complete, and someone come in right behind you and get first in line. And we do first come, first serve. So it's really important to get all these details. And I bet about half the applicants don't do this, and I have to ask them to. So you're going to click on that link, and we're going to go over here, and we're going to create a profile. And I accept the terms of service. And on that pet screening link, I think I skipped the first page. Hold on, let's get back. So it shows right here that it's no pets or animals, or household pets, or assistance animals. The assistance animals is verified by a legal Q&A team. And they do call your provider and verify the letter is correct and how they wrote it and all of those things. It's all legit and it meets the HUD standards. Regular cats, dogs, you just go right here. And then no pets or no animals, you can go through this one. And that's where a lot of people get confused. Yes, there's a place here that says no pets or no animals, and you still have to fill it out. So you do the move-in part, and this is the no pets, no animals. And all I'm going to do is answer a few questions. So I do not own a pet. I'm going to say yes, I really own a dog. But for your application, I just want to show you this. So I understand that I have to have written permission before any animal comes onto the property. I will have to say we do go by the properties and we do see the animals there. And people are like, oh yeah, I was in the process of it. Doesn't matter. One paw on the property, boom, $500. If you don't want to pay $500, don't do that. I understand and agree, absolutely no animal sitting or visitation. Also have gotten people who told me they were doing that, $500 and $50 a day for that violation. I understand that means subject to eviction. Yes, pet fees have definitely caused people to be evicted if they did not pay them. So again, an ugly, ugly road to go down. Please don't do that. I understand that my landlord property manager have an additional no pet animal policies that is stated here in the application. Yes, I understand this no-cost affirmation process is a requirement for anyone in the household that either has no pet or is also a co-pet owner with at least one person in the household having completed it. So this means every single person who is over 18 needs to fill this out. So if you have one pet, one person who's the primary owner of that pet would fill it out, and all the other people will say no pets. So everyone understands that you cannot add a pet or an animal of any kind to this property without proper documentation and approval in writing in the form of a pet agreement or a lease amendment. Not just like, hey, I told you, I sent you an email. No, that doesn't count. It will not hold up in court, guys. I attest this is true and accurate and confirm. All right, so I have now submitted it. And I get an email saying that I have created it. So I have my confirmation email right here. Perfect. Done. So I'm going to close that out. Close that out. Close that out. Nope. So I'm going to go back to this. So, okay. I've now completed the number one misstep for everybody on the applications here. So again, if you are 18 or older and you're applying for this property, doesn't matter if you're the tenant, doesn't matter if you're going to be an occupant. If you are 18 or older, you're going to do the pet screening. One person does if you have an animal who's the primary person will fill out, and every other person does a no pet. So there you go. And so now to the human application. Now that we got the animal application out of the way. Perfect. So, continue. Are you resuming an application? I'm going to say no. It's giving me this option because I've been playing with this a whole lot. Are you applying with other individuals? I'm going to say no for the moment. If you are, just go ahead and say yes, add their information, and it will link you in our system. If you don't and you do it all individually, also not a big deal. You can list them later on, and I will link them for you. So I'm going to say no for simplicity's sake right now. So now I need an email verification. So that is what this looks like. I need to verify my email right here. And boom, we're ready to continue. So here we go. So this is for my legal electronic signature, my first and last name. And here we go. Continue. I'm consenting. This is how I'm going to sign. Okay, perfect. So this is going to walk us through the screening criteria. I know it's really tempting to go click, 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 and just be done with it because you're trying to get it done and you're busy people and you're moving. But I do encourage you to read this because you are signing a legally binding document that you will be held accountable for, and it also answers a lot of questions. So number one, I've already said incomplete applications will not be processed. That's it. If I don't have all the steps, it's not going to happen. And what are those steps? So we have fees. It's $75 per person who is over 18. Everyone over 18 has to fill out the application, even if their finances are not used to qualify for the home. You do have to be able to pay a non-refundable admin fee of $120, and then you do the animal screening fee, if applicable. It's $20 for the first pet, $15 for each additional pet, and you do annual reviews of $10 a pet. It's no cost for service animals, and obviously what you just saw, no cost just to fill out the affidavit that you don't have a pet. So you're going to need your government IDs, you're going to need your pay stubs, and a note on proof of income. Sometimes people give me bank statements, which can work out, but it has to be really clear where the money is coming from. If you just have like a whole bunch of Venmos going in and out, that's not going to count for anything. It has to say the institution it's coming from if you're going to show me that that's where your pay is. And the other deficit for using your bank statement is it's showing me net income, after they've taken out all the taxes and whatever else they're holding back, as opposed to gross. And we qualify based on gross income. So if you're making $2,000 per paycheck, and then you get like $1,500, not real numbers, just easy math, right? $1,500, if you give me your bank statement, I can only count that $1,500 as opposed to giving you credit for the whole $2,000. So I really do pay stubs are the best. And in order for it to count, it has your name, your address, the pay period, the pay date, all the information, net, gross, what it was for, overtime, all that, year to date. Everything has to be on there. Letter of employment is only going to work if you are just out of college and you're just starting and you have no history. And it has to be really legit. Do not send me a Word document. Anybody, your brother, your mother, my 5-year-old can make you a Word document. So don't do that. If you are self-employed, big note, I will not take your bank statements for your business. I don't know what your business is. I'm not going to get up in your business. You need to give me a CPA financial statement that way. And then when you are approved, you have to establish the Rhino security deposit and do the admin fee immediately, and it has to be within 24 hours of approval. So If I say, hey, you're approved, congratulations, and then you like, oh, let me think about it for 2 days. Nope. Moving on to the next one. So we're going to go through and say, yep, I read that, I understood that. And again, steps to complete application. Starting with the screening at animal screening or no pet affidavit. I did the no pet affidavit. Every person. So, if your kid is over 18, that person too. If, your mother's moving in with you, but she makes no money, that person too. If it's a person and over 18, they have to do this process. Here, when we want to make sure we have the best contact information for you, this will be the information that goes, we will be contacting saying that you're approved or asking questions. So make sure it's something that you're going to get. And also for your landlords and current employers, because again, time is of the essence. If I don't get in contact with them and it takes me a day or two to get their updated information, you time out and we move on to the next application. You do have to earn 3 times the monthly rent. I will verify, I do math, and you upload all documents. Great. So income verification, it goes through, you can look at that in more detail to make sure. Rental history here is really important. So it will tell you about that, credit requirements, and it goes through. We do it line item by line item. I'm really looking for good credit. If you just have bad credit, I'm sorry. If you have some good credit and you have like medical bills, well, that's hard and you can't really choose those. So I do look at it line item by line item to figure out what's going on and what the story is. And we do a criminal background check. Here's all the animal information again. And fees. So we do have a monthly $40 fee. It's the tenant benefit package, and the details on our website. It does include having filters for the home, whether it's 1 or 5. My next door neighbor, they have 5 different filters, and they get all of them mailed to their house every month. Their MERV 8 filters, very high quality. It's once a year renewal fee, one-time admin fee, and it is $12.50 monthly if you don't get tenant renters insurance. I highly recommend renters insurance. It protects you and your belongings and does a liability insurance. But if you choose not to get renters insurance, you do have to pay for the tenant liability insurance. I will say that renters insurance is about the same cost, but you get a lot more coverage. And it also covers you if, God forbid, something happens to that house and you can't live in it, whether it be a day or a week. We've had to replumb houses if they had a slab leak. We've had a house flood before, like those things. And if you get a really good renter's insurance policy, it would pay for your housing. In those cases, they did pay for the housing. So that was good. And you do the Rhino security deposit replacement insurance. So that's the requirements. I will say for the tenant benefit package, in addition to that filter, you do get your rent reported monthly and you're starting to build a good credit line. So positive credit that you're paying on time. And that's great. And these are just fees that are based on your choices, whether you're going to add a pet to it, whether you're going to have a satellite dish, if you have HOA violations, that's based on your actions, late fees, and all those things. So those are fees based on choices. And here we go. Common questions. We can only hold a property for 2 weeks, just so you know. Here are reasons for denial. Make sure you look at them. Notice that on the bottom here it says failure to perform in time of the essence section before signatures is also a reason for denial. So if you get approved, but then you don't follow through in the timely manner, you will be denied. So here we go. We have maximum occupancy, no smoking, sight unseen. We do rent sight unseen. It helps especially a lot of our military clientele that they can rent it. We feel really confident in how we prepare the houses. We do retake marketing pictures each time, so they're not like 5 years old and you move in the house. You're like, wait a second, that doesn't look like the pictures. They were taken. We clean really well. And so you come through. Here's the information again. And here's your time and the essence. You're going to get 2 days to get the rental verifications done. You have 24 hours for the admin fee and the Rhino to set those up. You can both do those online in your pajamas from home. It does not take long to do either, about maybe 5-10 minutes max. So I think 24 hours for that is legit. And then within 48 hours of at least being signed, I did give you a little bit of time because I do want you to ask all of your questions. No surprises. And you can give us a call to get questions answered beforehand, but it does need to be signed in 48 hours. Otherwise, you may be rejected. So I'm going to sign here. that I acknowledge all of those things. I do encourage you to take time and do that and read through it. That was a quick one, but let's go. All right, so the property that I want, let's do 1469 Main Street. And then the rent amount, let's go with $1,450. My move-in date, let's go with the 15th. I want the middle of the month, please. And I'm going to go for 12 months. Don't be afraid to put in a different number here if you want. It's really a conversation. I do have the ability to give leases between 12 and 24 months in my property management agreement. If you want something that is outside of that range, I will have to ask the owner for it. I'm going to put the showing agent's name right here, and I'm going to say that Auto showed me this, and I heard about this from Zillow maybe. Okay, next. So again, just putting in all my information. I'm going to be just using our office phone for a lot of these things. And obviously you're going to put in your real social, but it is really important because I do the background check with that and all that information comes up. So I'm just going to pick today's date for my birthday. And today is the 4th. And obviously I can't do today's year. Let's do 1980. For that, and again, you're going to be putting in your legit information. Obviously, I'm not putting that online for everyone. You're going to fill it up, and I'm obviously going to be checking it, so make sure you're legit. So current address, I say that I'm going to have the rent amount. Maybe I'm moving up, and this is going to be 54 Joe's Street in San Antonio, Texas, 78216. Reason for moving, need larger space. And I'm going to say I was here from June, 2015. And my landlord is Mr. Nice Guy. Or my landlord is. And you do need to fill all these spaces out. Now, I'm going to say this is, again, I'm just using my office number and going through this as an example. You need to be really legit, put in the real information, because if this gets denied or it gets delayed, you could time out. And I will say that the number one way that we contact people is email. So you want to make sure it is entered correctly. I'm going to say correct email at gmail.com. Okay, so the previous address, I'm going to say I rented. If you did own, I will see that on your credit report, unless you're a cash buyer, but the mortgage does show up on that, and I do need it to match. And then we have, but you can also send me your mortgage statement as verification that you're all paid and up to date. Let's just do again. Bobby Joe Lane. I'm not being very creative with my addresses. Of course, you want to get all this information together before you get started. Sold home. Let's see. Okay. What's this? Okay. Again, so important to give the correct information on these and make sure that you do that research before you start this whole process, because it will delay and you could time out. If you need to add additional addresses, you can put it right here. You click that button at the bottom. See if I can undo that now. I don't think so. So I'm going to just try it again. Just for the sake of fastness. Okay. moved in with husband. Maybe got married looks weird. I'm trying here, guys. Got married. Just to show you how it goes through the whole thing. So I'll say June 5, and let's see, this is 20,000, and so what we're really going to be looking for here is that I'm looking for really like 5 years of history. More important than the number of addresses, but like 5-7 years of rental history that's there. If you don't have any rental history, if you've been staying with family, that's okay. Do make sure that you're being legit and honest. I've had applications come through. It's like, yeah, I'm a 50-year-old man and I've lived with my grandparents my whole life. I'm like, well, there's some really old grandparents. I hope you got their genes. And two, when I ran your credit, it showed that you have all these other addresses that you lived with, and on your history, it shows that you have an eviction on your record. So I do get to check all these things, your background point, and the minute it shows that there's an inconsistency between the information that you've provided and the information that comes up on your background report, and it does pull up the past addresses that have been associated with your social and your name. So if you're trying to say, oh yeah, I didn't want to tell them about that apartment complex that I ran out of and I still owe $2,000 to, so I'm just going to put some other information in, and I'm going to say I was living with my mom. Okay, fine. But the apartment complex probably sent you to collections, which is going to show up on your credit report. And the address of that place is also going to show up, and the name of the place shows up in your credit report, and I can look for that. So don't play. Don't do it. Okay. Employment status. I am currently employed, and I work for MHN Property Management. And we are located in Texas, a beautiful state. And I'm going to be broker here. And the income, again, I'm just going to be per month. Oh, that would be fabulous. I'd love to earn that per month. Let's say that per year. Just picking a number out of the blue. So start date, I'm just going to say like June 2015, 19. Supervisor is, here we go. And it's really important to put the correct phone number information in. Again, your employment information will be verified. There we go. You can also have, multiple jobs. You can do add current employer. Previous employer, we're going to do street. Do not remember their zip code. I'm looking it up. It will be important you get all this information together. Disclaimer, I was a school teacher. Just so you know. Teacher. And income again, my favorite number. I'm just using this for per month, that'd be great. Let's do per year. And whatever did I say was my end date? So let's do June 2015 and August 2013 maybe. Just kind of making it up. Supervisor. She's not there anymore, and that's not our email. But there you go. Other sources of income. Okay, this is really important. So other sources of income could be Social Security benefits, either for a child or disabled or other, other reasons. If you do have benefits, you want me to count that as part of your income, you do need to upload that Social Security benefit letter, and it has to have your name on it, It has to have what the benefits are, that they're going to be continuing, all of that stuff. The other one that I get a lot that's a little bit trickier to prove is child support. So I'm going to put that one down here so we can just talk about it. Child support. So if I say that I'm getting, $500 a month in child support, it's not good enough to show the court declaration that you have been awarded that child support. Because as we all know, not everyone who is required to do child support actually provides child support. So you do need to prove that they are paying it regularly. That could be bank statements where it clearly states where that money is coming from, and I can see it. Or a lot of child support is paid through court regulators and government regulators, and you can have a transaction page. So you can download that, and again, it's going to have the child's name on it, and obviously this child's going to be on the application as well. So, I put that in the wrong place. So you need to make sure that the court document, divorce decree, whatever it is not adequate in and of itself for child support. You also have to have proof that it is being paid to you. Okay, so pets. So I said there's no pets on my pet screening, so this is going to be inconsistent, but I'm just going to show you this one. I have a little pet. He's a terrier. You do want to be consistent on yours. Again, this is just examples of going through. Kind of yellow. Okay, so I only have one pet. This does need to match up with your pet screening, though, when you go through it. But again, this is not sufficient by itself in place of pet screening. And let's see, the vehicle. Oops. I am bringing a vehicle. Who are you kidding? This is San Antonio. Let's just say, oh, it's the S. Okay, and it's not. Say it's really old. This information is really important that it is correct because this is the information that goes onto your lease. We will transfer this information, well, it's not on your lease, but it goes into our system so that when people are at the property, we know that the vehicles are the permitted vehicles. And we do ask you to update this every year. So go ahead and go look at your license plate before you start this. All right, so bank account information. I really do not know why on God's green earth they ask for this. That is our office number that I am using for everyone. The reason I don't know why they're asking for this is that I don't see it, as I shouldn't. I wouldn't want to, and I'm not sure why they ask for it. But please fill it out. But again, I don't see it, just in case you're wondering. The personal references, so we're just going to go with Joe and Bob, apparently is my theme today. Okay, and let's just say that he works at the car wash. Everyone's phone number is our office phone number. And we'll say Bob is my brother. And occupation, let's say he's a nurse today. You do want to put this in correctly. And we're going to go first name, last name. That'll be better. We'll call him Bob Miller. And Joe Smith. And Bobby Joe. I'm very original today. Bobby Joe. And let's say that you're my cousin. And what do you do? Let's say you're a doctor. I like it. Doctor. Yeah, you just want to make sure this information is complete. Okay, emergency contact. Really important. Your emergency contact is not someone who lives in the property with you. We will ask you this information again at the lease, but emergency contacts per the application and per the lease is for, God forbid, everyone is out in the house and we have to contact someone. That's the person. So let's go with Bobby Joe again. And he's a very good cousin. Okay. So we're going to go through our questions. Do I have a waterbed? No. Do I have an aquarium? I don't. I kind of want one, but I don't have one. Just so you know, it's under 10 gallons or under permitted. If not, it's a pet, just so you know. I do not have a boat. That's because of HOA regulations. I asked that question. Same with motorhome, motorcycle. I am not a smoker. I am not in the military. It's not a bad thing to answer. You can go with yes. I did think about it for a long time. So this one, are you serving under military orders limiting the military persons to say yes, 1 year yes? You do need to know that your military orders are keeping you here for 12 months, right? Because otherwise you will have lied on your application. That's not so great. So make sure that you do have that. I don't have a judgment. I don't have bankruptcy. No, I have never willingly refused rent. I've always paid my rent on time. Thank you very much. No criminal manners, no crime. Yeah, tons of people fail to receive their full deposit. It's not a big deal. Let's just say patch wall holes from TV mount. Car wash, dog prints, back patio, muddy. Whatever it is. It's not going to disqualify you just by that. I think a lot of people don't have it. So let's see. Have you ever had a short sale? Nope. And that's the last 7 years. Any credit problems? Sure, why not? Let's say medical bills when son is hospitalized. So if someone ended up in the hospital for 4 days, let's say. I mean, it's the important thing is not that you're saying you're just clicking through and saying, oh, I'm going to say no, I'm going to say no. Is that whatever's here matches what's on the credit report, because I'm going to get that. And it's going to match what's on the rental verification, because I'm going to get that. Because you want it to match up. Because remember, discrepancies can lead to no's. So this is really important. We're going to use this information. We do have to put names and ages of occupants. So I'm going to go with my theme of Joe Smith is, we'll say, spouse, and let's see, 34, and then we have Bobby Joe, son, 5, and then Joanne, Fire, 2. So these are all the people. If mom's coming to live with me too, let's say Babette, and this is going to be, let's say she's like 5, mom. And just put the information, and this does help us complete the lease and get it in writing so we don't have to ask you questions later. And if you're referred to a realtor, love working with realtors. Just make sure that you put the realtor's name and information and whatever their phone number is. I do try to keep your realtor in the loop, and sometimes if you're busy doing your job, I can contact that realtor. Just making all this up. I can contact that realtor and they can get a hold of you really fast and let you know what's going on. And that does help. Maybe that'll be the difference of you getting first in line or not. And that has happened many times. Okay, so I'm required to do my government ID. So I'm going to have it here. I've already done it. And pay stubs. I'll just upload some of this other stuff. And you do for pay stubs, I am trying to get at least a 2-month, if not a 3-month view of what you're earning. So if you get paid once a month, that's going to be 3 pay stubs. If you get paid twice a month, it's going to be 6 pay stubs. If you get paid every week, well, that's going to be a lot. You might need to upload multiple pages to one document and then upload it. So you can do it that way. Vet records, if applicable, you can put your little pet photo. So you have an email, it says upload a picture of him. So you can also do all of those things. You didn't up something that you requested. Yeah, I will go ahead and go forward with that for the moment. I'm going to say that the document I uploaded had everything in it and just had multiple pages, which is totally good. So, summary of your rights underneath the Fair Credit Reporting Act. This is a government document. You can ask for your credit score. You can dispute information. All of this information. So this is just a legal doc. You can go ahead and look at that and read that going forward. Notice regarding background investigation pursuant to California law. Okay, well, we're not in California, but if you're in California. And here we go. So information about brokerage services. This is what I talked about earlier. I represent the owner. Everyone at MHN Properties, when you're talking about a rental and a rental application, we represent the owner. You are our, they are our clients. You are our customers. We do our best to provide really good service to make it simple for everyone. But it is that I represent them, so legally I have to act on their behalf. It goes through the other variations, but in this case, I'm representing the owner. I'm going to say yep. Okay, so this is giving permission for the background check, because that has to be done in writing. And you can add adults and add minors. So there's kind of two places to add these people. It's really important you go through and do add adult, and I'd add husband and mom and add the minors. Again, these people are going to be put on the lease. I'm not going to do it here because it requires an email, and then I'd be like sending off emails to all kinds of random people. So I'm going to go through with next, and then you do the application fee. So that's the last page. I'm not going to put that in because I'm not going to go through with the whole thing, but you will have to put in your information. Just, it's not charged the moment you pay $75. It's charged the moment that I click run after I've reviewed it. We do provide a free review, kind of consultation of documents here. We do that first come, first serve. Some property managers might run a whole bunch of applications and then pick the best. I think that's a way to run through a lot of money for people who have to apply to multiple houses. And that maybe are fabulous candidates, but are beat out by someone who is just sparkling with diamonds. I don't know. But we don't charge it unless you are first in line. And then you click here and say pay. And there you're done. So that's the whole application process. Please make sure that all your information is accurate, up to date. We do check it across the board. And I hope this was helpful. And we look forward to seeing your application. Bye.